Hello, welcome to my presentation on franchising pros and cons. This is my Spring 2017 final presentation for ISM. My name is Abhishek Amin. My topic is franchising, and my mentor is Mr. Hiren Patel, but unfortunately he was unable to be here. His gas station is a Fast and Go, and my mentorship teacher is Miss Christy Click, and I have to say that some of the information from this presentation comes from outside sources. So this is my mentor, Mr. Hiren Patel, pictured right. I'm pictured to the left. I'm significantly taller than him, as I am with most people, of course. Mr. Hiren Patel is an entrepreneur, and he has a Fast and Go gas station on 13574 Bel Air Boulevard. At which I've done my mentorship, of course, this spring semester. So why I looked into franchising. My family owns a small business, and to continue to own this business, they require to franchise with this big company named Sunoco. I'm sure you've heard of it. So Sunoco leases gas stations to small business owners, and in return they get a monthly payment and or just an upfront payment. But now they want this franchise system. So I was kind of intrigued by that, and I've always wanted to be involved with my family's business. I've been going there since I was young. Since I was 4 years old, I go to the gas station and just help out however I can. I have always been interested, as I said, and I would like to own a business when I grow up as well. So I feel like this would provide me good insight into the business field as well as help out my family. So what is franchising? Franchising is a method of marketing a product or a service that is adapted for a wide variety of businesses and industries. There are two forms of franchising, and the first is a product distribution arrangement, and the second is a business format franchise. So a business format franchise is the whole platform of the entire business, whether it be a Taco Bell, or a McDonald's or a Sonic or something along those lines. So the way it works is that this big company, for example Taco Bell, will offer you this franchise. You will be given a certain location to build it, a certain vicinity. You can choose out the plot within that area, of course. They will provide you your advertising, your ingredients, your materials, the uniforms, the entire setup of the entire restaurant, and they will take a bit of money from you. So there will be an upfront franchising fee, and then on top of that there will be like a royalty, as they call it, which would be like a 3-4% of every month's profit. A product distribution arrangement is simply one toy or one thing for a business to sell. So for example, say I am a Toys R Us owner, and I want this remote control car. That company may have me sign a franchise deal to where I only sell that remote control car, and from that they will get a percentage of the profit, but I will receive the toy cars at lowered costs. So per se, if I were to buy it directly from them rather than buying it from a wholesale seller. So how franchising affects a business. Here I'd like to talk about franchising as a whole and what that corporate world can really help you accomplish. Franchising offers a lot of support, such as site selection, personnel training, and a business setup. So basically it's the whole 9 yards if you're a new business owner. This will help you create a strong establishment with almost guaranteed profit. Additionally, it'll have your advertising and your product supply at a reduced cost. So say I'm a small business owner, I'm going to have to go out, find a company who will advertise, and hope that they create the correct type of advertisement for the type of environment or market I'm trying to reach. However, this will use a proven advertisement, which is proven to attract the market that they need for this specific business. And a product supply at a reduced cost is, as I said earlier, rather than you buying from a wholesaler, you're buying directly from them, so you get even more of reduced costs. There's no third party in between y'all and the company itself. Next, there will be an increased speed of growth. And what I mean by this is that your business will grow at an exponential rate as to that of you being on your own, since you are using a pre-made, pre-developed, prefabricated business plan. So what I mean by this is if you're a small business, you're going to have to experiment around with how you want to treat your customers, how you want to advertise to them, what kind of deals you want to give them. However, this company has already proven this in various different locations. So you already know that your business is going to excel at a greater rate than that of you experimenting. And there would be an almost guaranteed chance of profitability, since there would be from a more organized association. What I mean by that is that people recognize a Taco Bell over a mom and pop Mexican restaurant. Which one are they going to trust more? They're going to probably trust the bigger corporation company, of course. So advantages of franchising. The biggest problem that small businesses have is that they do not have the ability to receive capital. They simply do not have that money to back up their big business decisions, which they need to advertise or to market their product. This provides you the franchise this provides you capital, since the franchise will do so. The franchise is a big company who has a lot of money to spend, and they'll be returning profits as well. So they will give you money to renovate your store, to create your uniforms, to do all these different things, and you will barely have to spend anything. And in return, you barely pay anything, about 4% of your profit, which is little to nothing. And there's literally no liability whatsoever in this. Basically, the franchise takes up most of the risk. They take that risk because they know it's going to work. Whether if you were to have a small business, it'd be high risk, because that would be all your backing and your partner's backings of that money, of that high amount of money, however much it costs for you to open up that business. Next, there will be more leverage on staff. A franchise takes up most of the responsibilities that an owner would normally have to do. This would be such as the day-to-day paperwork, which I will show you, which is my product actually that I've created. So this day-to-day paperwork is a lot of work. It takes about 2 to 3 hours per day, since it's a bunch of crunching numbers, looking at the sales, going through the cash register, all these various tasks, as well as the safe, and going to the bank to make deposits and whatnot. So the franchise would provide a bookkeeper that would take care of all this. So you would have more time to look over the business and look over your employees. Also, this expansion, this would allow you to expand by allowing you to have more businesses. Simply what I mean by that is if you have a small business which is not franchised, you're going to have to look over the books. You're going to have to make sure that everything's running smoothly rather than someone else doing it for you, because you want to make sure that the money's coming to you and not going out. With a franchise, all that is covered. So you will be able to get more businesses, such as, like, say I have a small restaurant. I'm looking over the restaurant, I'm looking over the ingredients, I'm looking over this, I'm looking over that. So I can't open multiple other restaurants. With a franchise, you can, since the franchise will look over your ingredients, your menu, your staff, your hiring, your training. All of that will be taken care of. So you will have more time to kind of deal with your business and deal with multiple businesses, since the amount of time you would have to invest is decreased exponentially. I would like to now talk about the disadvantages of franchising. So a franchise will set out a specific area for you to create your business. So say, for example, I decide to franchise with Krispy Kreme, a donut company. They will say I can only franchise in this area of Houston. So that would be like a 1 mile radius, perhaps. And say there are a lot of donut shops in the area, such as Shipley's and some mom and pop donut shop. Normally, if you were to open a small business, you wouldn't open there because it's not a prime location. There's already too much competition going on. However, with the franchise, you'd be restricted to that certain area. So sometimes franchises can create issues with that location problem. This can create conflict between the owner and the franchise, as the owner would be disappointed when he's not making the profits that he could if he were to build in a different location. Also, with a franchise, the owner is told how to specifically run the business down to the color of the walls. So this would create an issue if the owner perhaps had a new idea, since he was seeing the market firsthand of his area rather than the the whole United States average, the owner would not able to capitalize on some of these small adjustments that he or she could make to benefit their business. Additionally, if there's a problem with the big franchise itself, the franchising company, there would be a lack of profit in the business itself, and there's little to nothing the business owner can do since they aren't there. They aren't the ones who are making these business decisions that the big company's making. A prime example of this would be the issue that Chipotle had a long time ago with E. coli. Say I was a franchise owner of a Chipotle and there was this whole E. coli problem, so I was losing all that business, and there was nothing I could do as an owner to fix that E. coli issue. It was simply a corporate problem. So now I want to talk about why small businesses fail. I spoke about the advantages and disadvantages of franchise, how it would help your business grow, as well as a little bit of minor small business details. But now I'd like to go in depth. So the main reason small businesses don't make profit is that they simply are not attracting the right customers. They're attracting people who are not spending the right amount of money that they need to profit in big amounts. Marketing and sales aren't the only thing that lead to more business, but they lead to each other, and that's a very important relationship to have in a business. Sometimes money goes away in a small business and it isn't traced. However, the franchise allows you to have a bookkeeper so that money isn't traced. So say I have an employee that's taking money from the registers, that would be taken care of by a bookkeeper, as they would simply be keeping track of the numbers, and then you could go back and look at it. However, if you were taking care of the numbers yourself, you might just look over it as a miscellaneous expense. Also, spending capital on developing these ads and these marketing plans, it costs a lot in the long run. However, a franchise already provides you all that, so you don't have to spend on that. Next, I would like to talk about my current event about Sunoco. Sunoco is a big corporation that leases out gas stations to the common person. Through this, they control the gas vendor as well as other vendors that provide such as bread, milk, Coke, beer, cigarettes. All that is controlled by the Sunoco Corporation, which provides all these things. So they are requiring their leasers to franchise with a new A+ company. So this A+ company is requiring the gas station to have a renovated car wash if there's a car wash attached to it. They're also requiring you to remove all soda machines, since the soda machines take away from the business of the actual sodas in the freezers or in the coolers. And also they're requiring you to have a food deli in the corner of your gas station, something along that sort, which offers fresh cooking. However, they are reducing the cost of the upfront cost to sign a gas station with them, but they are introducing a new royalty, which is about a 5% royalty, which is negotiable. And this requires the leaser to pay every month to them rather than just paying one upfront fee, and the rent, of course, of the property. So these are some examples of franchises. There's McDonald's, KFC, Subway, 7-Eleven, Hertz, Pizza Hut, Wyndham, Hilton, Remax, Domino's, Kumon, and Marriott. This is a picture. One of the things I thought was interesting was Yum is a corporation, a franchise corporation, and they actually own Taco Bell, KFC, Long John Silver's, and Pizza Hut. Also, Dunkin' brand not only has Dunkin' Donuts, but it also has Baskin Robbins, which I thought was interesting, and some other things like Buffalo Wild Wings, Denny's, Einstein Bros Bagels. Next, I would like to showcase my website that I've created this year. So this right here is my ISM portfolio. Once again, there's a picture of me and my mentor. So I'd like to show you one of my journal entries. So this right here is a journal entry. I've passed out the handout of it, of course. So last semester I explored the medical field job, and this semester I'm exploring the business world, and more specifically franchising. So basically every week we'd have a new prompt, and it would be due every Monday at the end of class. And so this is just from 2-6, and I believe the prompt was about the differences in your mentorship site and how you saw changes. So yeah, that's that. And then I'd like to scroll down to my activity log. So this was also due every week. This is an activity log from 1:30 to 17. So each week we're required to do 3 mentorship hours. So that means 3 hours with our mentor and 2 hours of activity. So this time at my mentorship, I went on a Sunday, the 6th of February, and I restocked the shelves. I counted up the money in the register, and I also got Voss water for free, which was kind of cool. So I kind of wrote about that. And that week I actually did 5 hours from 9 to 2 p.m. Another thing I'd like to show you is some of the research I've done. So this is my research from 4 sources. So the first one is what exactly is franchising. The second one talks about the advantages of franchising. The third one talks about the third one talks about the advantages of franchising as well, and the fourth one talks about how franchising can fail and how small businesses fail. Next, I would like to show you my product, which I've created a whole week's plan of, or a whole week's profit statement, as you like to call it. So this right here is a business I created. It's not real. These numbers are fabricated. So I go over the merchandise, the lottery, the gas sales, the sales tax, and the restaurant and the gift card. So that's all what is sold. And then in the middle I have the gallons sold, and then the sales tax on those gallons. And then at the bottom I have the commission. So gas station only makes $69, give or take, for them selling $2,000 or 2,000 gallons worth of gas. So that's basically getting barely any money per gallon. That's about like 0.05 is around what I calculated at the time. And then this is all like cash, ATM, credit card, lottery winnings. This is all what money was put in and out of the store. So you can look over the sheets that I gave you. I have it for all 7 days. Please feel free to ask me anything at the end of this presentation, of course. So yeah, that's that. And then I would like to show you 10 artifacts. So this right here is a diagram of how soda machine works. And then I have a warning label, which I'm sure you've seen is on the gas pumps outside. It's basically saying that there's static electricity and that can cause a fire. Next I have what my mentor said was his inspiration. He was excited to come to America to own his own business, because in India everything's very restrictive. So he kind of showed me this, and he was like, yeah, this is the reason I came to America, land of the free, home of the brave. Next, I have to show you the label on the gas pump, which is 15% ethanol. It's kind of just a warning that they use a different type of fuel. This is a calendar from the Sunoco franchise company. This is instructions on how to work a gas pump, but I'm sure y'all have gotten used to it by now. This is energy use, so we can see how there's a slight decline in the use of gasoline and an increase in electricity, so that's kind of cool for gas to go down. But then again, it doesn't affect a gas station as much as most people think. Next, I have iso-octane blend. So this basically defines what the octane rating is in a gas station. Next, I have a common product used. I'm pretty sure y'all have probably used it. It's a price gun to put prices on different things. And then lastly, I have a lotto pamphlet. This is what y'all hand out to encourage people to play lotto. And let's go back to my presentation. So I would like to thank my mentor, Mr. Haran Patel, for this year. I would like to thank my teacher, Ms. Christy Click. I would like to thank Mr. Amit Choksi and Ms. Cindy Garcia. And I would like to thank my family. This is my works cited. Thank you so much for being here today.